Hello again, my name is Gary Strawn, founder of Development That Pays, the #1 Agile channel on YouTube, and welcome back to my video workshop, the Agile Inside Out Blueprint. If you are a Scrum Master, an Agile coach, a project manager, or even a program manager, and the F word, frustration, has been running through your life a little more often than it should be, then this video is for you. In the first video, I introduced you to this 6-step blueprint, the Agile Inside Out Blueprint, and how it's the key to breaking free from the frustration in your Agile world. If you've yet to see video 1, then please stop this video now and go back and watch it. Don't worry, I'll wait. All caught up? Excellent. So in this video, we're going to go deep on the first 2 stages of the blueprint, starting with stage number 1, get specific. Get specific with what? Get specific with a recognized Agile framework. Do you happen to know the TV program Strictly Come Dancing? You might know it as Dancing with the Stars. Well, if you don't know it, or you're pretending that you don't, the show pairs a bunch of celebrities with a bunch of professional dancers, and each week they learn a new dance. Let me restate that. Each week they learn a specific, recognized dance style. They don't just wing it. Yes, there's new choreography, but it's choreography within a structure, within a framework. At this point, you might be asking yourself, is this guy seriously trying to compare Agile to dancing? To which I might say to you, if you don't think Agile is like a dance, perhaps you're doing it wrong. But in all seriousness, I will say that the analogy is not perfect. In Strictly, as we UK-based superfans call it, in Strictly, there's one pro and one, let's be kind here, non-pro. A 50-50 split. Now, question for you. In your Agile team, what's the ratio of pro to non-pro? If you're lucky enough to have a team full of pros, full of experienced Agilists, is that even a word? Then I'm sure you don't have a problem. Watching your team must be like watching poetry in motion. But the chances are you have what I might describe as a real-world Agile team. If you have a single pro, you are lucky. So the question becomes, does that make it more or less important that you're all doing the same dance? I think you know the answer, and that's why I'm suggesting that you get specific by selecting a recognized framework. And for most of us, the list of options is a short one: Scrum or Kanban. Now, a full discussion of which is best for your situation and best for your team is beyond the scope of what we're talking about today. But if it does become a sticking point, then might I suggest that you select Scrum for 3 good reasons. Number 1, adoption. Scrum is by far the most adopted Agile framework out there, and as a result, there's a wealth of support materials for you to lean on. Number 2, adoption. Again, because it is so widely adopted, Scrum is usually the framework that's easiest to sell in to an organization. And number 3, the Scrum Guide. Now, while I'm the last person to say RTFSG, read the Scrum Guide, I can't deny there's a benefit in having a single compact reference document covering the entire Scrum framework. Okay, let's move on. You've got specific by selecting Scrum or Kanban. What's next? What's next is stage 2, get complete. If you're doing Scrum currently, you may have noticed this nugget from the aforementioned Scrum Guide. Scrum's roles, events, artifacts, and rules are immutable, and although implementing only parts of Scrum is possible, the result is not Scrum. I remember reading that for the first time and thinking, how conveniently self-serving. And indeed it is, but over time I've also come to see its wisdom. You see, Agile frameworks, and here I'm including Kanban as well as Scrum, Agile frameworks are complex, they're interconnected, organic almost. Leave something out, skip a step, and you lose more than you think you're losing. You may even end up breaking it. And that's why at this stage I'm asking you to get complete. I want you doing all the moves, not just a selection. So how close is your team to getting complete? Well, let's see. Do you do a daily stand-up? Do you do it every day? Excellent. Give yourself a point. Do you, though, skip it from time to time? Oh dear, 0 points. And what about retros? And Kanban, as I'm talking to you as well, do you do retros? Do you do them every sprint? Kanban is at least once a month. Excellent, give yourself a point. Do you sometimes skip them though when it feels like they're not necessary? Oh dear, 0 points once again. Of course, there are many other elements to Scrum and Kanban beside daily stand-up and retros, and to help you understand your current level of completeness, I have prepared a couple of handy checklists for you. One for Scrum, one for Kanban, and you should be able to find a link to them somewhere around this video. 2 things to say at this point. First of all, in developing the Agile Inside Out blueprint generally, and those checklists specifically, I've really worked hard to stick to things that are under your control. I'm very aware that team roles are least likely to be under your control. I've been part of more than one Agile team where we have requested, nay begged, for a Scrum Master for our team and had our requests denied. We had to make do and mend, and I'm guessing that you might be in the same position. So I'm going to turn a blind eye if you don't have, for example, a dedicated Scrum Master. Fair enough? Second point, if your team is currently a long way from being complete, then I would not recommend you try to get complete in a single step. Try one, see how it goes, move at a pace that's right for your team. Having said that, I don't want you to achieve mastery before moving on. This stage is called Get Complete. It isn't called Get Perfect. Quick note on the underlying purpose of these 2 stages. Ultimately, they're about serving the customer, and the best way we know of serving the customer is via being agile. Now, these 2 stages on their own don't guarantee agility, far from it, but they set us off in the right direction, and they start to help the team to build a strong, agile muscle memory. Let's do a very quick recap of what we looked at today. We talked about the benefits of picking a specific recognized framework and the benefits of getting complete with that framework. And before we go today, I would love to hear from you. Have you and your team picked a specific framework? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to know how complete you are with that framework. Again, let me know in the comments below. And finally, if you've got that checklist and you've been through it, what's the one item that you would like to implement next with your team? Again, let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it on Facebook, Twitter, or simply by sending a link to a friend or colleague. Now, in the next video, I'm going to share with you the entire Agile Inside Out blueprint. It builds on what we've talked about today, and I think it's the most valuable part of this entire workshop. I'm even going to give you a PDF of the blueprint so you can download it, print it out, and use it as a roadmap for your team. That just about puts the wraps on video number 2. I look forward to seeing you again in video number 3.